2009, we made history with the election of President Barack Obama. He called us to service as there remains much work to do to end unemployment, poverty, and crime in our communities. There's so many books on how we can accomplish this, but this year everyone's raving about this summer's hottest new book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America by Chicago's own Emmanuel Barbie. A graduate of Northeastern Illinois University, Barbie addresses key ways we back our families and communities. But unlike so many other books on this topic, Barbie captivates his reader, presenting solutions through a riveting life story. It's entertaining, it's different, it's exciting. The perfect book club selection. Don't be left out. Get your copy of The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Order today at Amazon.com.
Hello, my name is Emmanuel Barbie. I am the founder and president of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, which is based on my revised book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. First, the time has come for me to move my virtual organization, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, from behind a PC, starting in Chicago. Those who purchase my revised book and agree with my plan to improve urban America within our inner cities, I will give you an opportunity to be a guest speaker on my Blog Talk radio show, which is called Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos. You can promote your business, your ministries, poems, or music for 10 minutes during the following show. I'm looking to strengthen and increase my audience with ordinary law-abiding citizens, bloggers, DJs, and guest speakers. There's no better place to advertise your talents and skills than on my show, because you get 10 minutes rather than 30-second elevator pitch to promote yourself or your products to listeners from the podcast community, my social groups, and from people that's on my friends list and others around the world. First, I want to give honor to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for giving me this vision to share with my fellow man and woman about the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, which is, our mission is to help end urban violence, poverty, structural inequality, institutionalized racism, and police brutality within the communities and cities we will serve if given a chance. The Bible provides the only way forward for restoring the rights that transform this country. The Bible is the centerpiece under our spiritual component. I want to make Chicago a model first before we expand to 25 other cities within 25 states. Once we're established in America, I plan on having Native Africans in the United States to assist me in setting up chapters in 25 countries in Africa. My organization is open to all law-abiding citizens, all racial groups, and undiscovered artists. All I ask is that everyone who is interested in joining GRCAM accept all the principles in my revised book and sign the consent form and be placed in our database once we're established. I'm currently seeking 30 people within the United States who is brave enough and smart enough to be on my management team for those persons to make themselves known to me. I will discuss compensation and incentives with those persons behind closed doors after we conduct our background checks. July 21st, 2015 has marked 50 years since the Voting Rights Act. Why is this still an act and not a law? We have animal rights, gay rights, religious rights. All are laws on the books. But what about the rights for African Americans / Black Americans to be free from voter intimidation or being denied access to vote? Under our political component, I'm trying to find progressive blacks and others to work with me in starting our own independent political party at the local level to focus on community issues and to create our own laws called community rights and get those laws on the books as permanent laws, which will be compatible with the dominant culture. And it will also protect our residents from road cops and urban terrorists. On July 3rd, 2015, I attended the Socialist Conference at the Hyden Region McCormick Place in Chicago. I went for 3 reasons. One was to network and pass out my flyers. Another reason I went was to meet and greet the panel of Black Lives Matter. Finally, I attended this conference because my organization, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, is a Christian socialist organization, which I am trying to move from behind a computer. I met family members from Immatil. I met with a brother named Martinez Sutton, the brother of Rakia Boyd. I also met with Michael Hazel and a host of others whose family members were victims of police brutality. What is Black liberation theology? A clear definition of Black liberation theology was first given in 1969 by the National Committee of Black Churches in the midst of the Civil Rights Movement. Black liberation theology is a theological perspective founded in the Black churches in the United States, which contextualize Christianity in an attempt to help African Americans overcome oppression. Black liberation theology seeks to liberate people of color from multiple forms of political, social, economic, and religious subjugation and views Christianity theology as a theology of liberation. It is the affirmation of Black humanity that emancipates African Americans / Black Americans from white racism. In 1960, the Black churches began to focus their attention on helping blacks cope with national racial discrimination. The notion of blackness is not merely a reference to skin color, but rather a symbol of oppression that can be applied to all persons of color who have a history of oppression. The overall emphasis is Black liberation theology, is the Black struggle for liberation from various forms of white racism and oppression. Mr. Jim Cone, the chief architect of Black liberation theology, in his book, quote, A Black Theology of Liberation, he compares Christian theology to liberation, rather than focusing on relating the focus of liberation to the essence of the gospel, which Jesus is taught. One of the tasks of Black theology, says Cone, is to analyze the nature of the gospel of Jesus Christ in light of the experience of oppressed blacks. For Cone, no theology is Christian theology unless it arises from oppressed communities and interprets Jesus' work as that of liberation. Christian theology is understood in terms of systematic and structural relationships between two main groups: victims, the oppressed, and victimizers, the oppressors. In Cone's view, whites consider blacks as animals, outside the realm of humanity, and attempts to destroy black identity through racial simulation and integration programs, as if blacks have no legitimate existence apart from whiteness. Black theology is the theological expression of a people deprived of social and political power. For 23 years, I have been trying to get established black organizations in my city to work with me, but they decline. I reached out to the black church, but they only gave me lip service and told me to keep up the good work. This is why I wrote my book. My book is the foundation of my organization. I'm seeking 30 people in the United States who have read my book and agree with my plan to improve our inner cities in America. For those persons to come to Chicago and work with me directly in changing the social conditions of our inner cities, starting on the west side of Chicago and eventually on the south side of Chicago. Still, to this day, I have no one on my management team. Where is our black middle-class professionals? Where's the black churches? I'm not here to improve the current system, quote-unquote capitalism. I'm called to start a new organization in Black America called the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. I'm called to help liberate my people who are trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. For those families that want and need our services and want more out of life. My critics can give me constructive criticism about my YouTube videos being too long or sound monotone, or that I should focus on starting my nonprofit and not so much on selling my book. I did not ask my critics for their opinion. Those of you that care less about my cause, help stop the genocide in American ghettos, don't buy my book. Don't look at my YouTube videos. Keep your opinion and your money and keep it moving. I only want to hear from people who agree with my intentions and work with me to get my revised book on the bestsellers list. Work with me in finding a legitimate film director and a producer to assist me in turning my book into a motion picture. I provide my email in my revised book so I can interact with my readers. Send me your email address and in turn I will send you a list of all the social groups that I'm the administrator of. Join my social groups and interact with my group members, promote your business, your ministries, or just network with people that I connect with online. Also, I will provide an attachment of my book flyer. Please print them out and share them with your family, your friends, your place of worship, and at your school, on your job, and at your local community center. People can only do what you allow them to do to you. I can start GRCAM today, but again, I want my management team in place first. I want those 30 people. And I also want to generate from my book sale as well as from my future film to generate the capital that I need so that I can do all the things that I've written about to the fullest. Dealing with black issues is very difficult. It's not easy at all. It's not an easy task. lot of people that I run across, I mean, you know, a lot of them they have good intentions and they mean well and everything, but a majority of the people that I run across, a lot of them have been Americanized. That means that they have that Willie Lynch mentality. Hey, look, I got mine, you get yours. That's what's one of the reasons that's taken me so long. But again, I have advanced faith. A lot of people would have left this thing alone probably, I would say, 5 years ago. Again, this has been 23 years, going on 24 years. November 11th, 2015 of this year will mark 24 years. Again, my focus right now is to find a legitimate film director and a producer to work with me in terms of turning this book into a movie. That's what I want to do, so that way I can reach the masses and people that don't read. So that way the proceeds from my book and from my future film will put me in a better position where I can hire my team, and for us to do all these things that I have written. Now, I want my supporters, people that read my book and all that stuff, in other cities, within other states, to work with me, share my information, so that way when I do come to your city, that way we can get this ball rolling. We are living in the information age. Thank God that I started my organization online, because right now it's just a quote-unquote virtual organization. Actually, I'm on 300 social networks. I have 125,000 people that know who I am online. My book should be a bestseller. However, a lot of people, they just want to talk the talk. That's how come I want to make sure that I push those people out the way. And that's why my focus is only on those that are really concerned about black issues. Make yourself known to me. I provide all my contact information in my book, from my Skype information, my email information. So, and when you talk with me, we can meet directly face to face in Chicago. So I'm ready, and I've been ready, and I'm ready to work with those that's serious about dealing with these social issues. I have nothing but love for my people. A lot of them, I can't make excuses for all of them, but I'm just seeing the ones that's trying to do better and all that, that's caught up in this, facing this unnecessary hardship, unnecessary drama. If I can connect with you, and if I can get this business started, which I know is going to come to pass, I want to be a blessing to your family. And I want to help you as well as your family members to reach your life goals. That's what GRCAM is all about. That's what it's about. It's based on my personal experience. But in order to know about GRCAM, you need to know about me, because I'm the founder. And this organization is based on my personal life experience. And this is my gift back to those that want more out of life. My vision goes beyond just urban America. Again, I want to help improve the economy in Africa, in 25 countries. And I want Native Africans here in the United States to work with me. I admit admit I do not know I can't trace what tribe I came from, but I am a Christian socialist. And I believe that's all that matters. I want to come there not to impose my views on people. I want to work with people that want more out of life. I want to be able to change those social conditions that people are going through, that's being neglected by society. That's why I'm here. That's the whole purpose of this business. I have to generate capital so that way I can hire those that want to work for this organization. Our organization is open to all racial groups. Again, all I ask is I want to make sure that everybody sign that consent form and be in agreement. Everybody that joins GRCAM, I want them to know my story. And I want to help those to not just write about their personal experience, but for us to create short films and put on live stage plays, so that way that story can be told, and we can generate capital that way, and we can buy property and do all the things to improve our communities that's being neglected, and put our own laws on the books so that way these financial elites can stop imposing all their laws on us while we continue to be ignored. I think that through the Ferguson protests, as well as the Baltimore riots and protests, we already see and witness that our current black leaders, they're out of touch. All they keep telling us is about these quote-unquote political slogans, no justice, no peace. Well, that's not going to change no financial elites. Burning down our buildings and lashing out with anger, destroying property and looting. That's what the road cops and white racists want us to do, so that way they can have an excuse to kill more of our people. And it would be justified in their eyes. Well, again, I am doing the best that I can to get my message out to the right type of people. I don't want just anybody on my team. Anybody can say that they agree, but put it in writing. That's how I feel. And I want to make sure that you pass that background check. Because again, even though we're going to offer a second chance program for ex-offenders, former gang members, and the homeless, those people too must accept the principles in my book. No exceptions. Again, I'm not here to improve the current system. I'm here to offer an alternative. We're going to mind our own business, just like the quote-unquote the Amish people. But I'm not saying for us to, give up the luxury of using electricity and living like back in the Stone Ages. That's not what this is about. This is about us cooperating within society, like maybe like a subculture. That's what it is anyway. But to improve the impoverished urban communities. And we're going to do it one community, one city, and one state at a time. And our model is one mind, one voice, one accord. I'm only responsible for those under my leadership. People have a choice. Again, I only want to work with those that want more out of life. And I will give you our best. We will make sure that for parents, that your children will be protected when they walk down the street. Makes no sense at this day and age that kids can't even, when they leave school, can make it home safely. without some fool want to blow their brains out. But this is the day and age that we're living in. Unfortunately, Chicago is the murder capital. And this is where I've been trying to start my organization for the past 23 years. But I believe the tide is going to turn. I believe that somebody, 30 people, will step forward and work with me. That's what I believe. And I'm doing the best that I can to get my message out. So, again, GRCAM is about turning dreams into a reality. And I thank my Creator, my Lord and Savior, for allowing me to be the leader of this organization. And again, we are going to have our own ministry that's going to be in the spiritual component. And again, this organization is about helping people improve their life situation, but it's also on the spiritual. And again, I give all credit to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to experience this. And I just want to see everybody succeed in this organization that's about to be, so we can pass this organization down to future generations. And I am grateful again to be able to use this technology. I'm trying to use it wisely. A lot of the sites that I'm on to, a lot of them been hit in terms of people been sending viruses to shut it down. One of the sites I used to like a lot was Xanga, that's spelled Xanga. I used to have a lot of groups on there, and unfortunately that shut down, and many other ones. But anyhow, I'm just grateful for those that's gonna support me, and in turn I will support you and your immediate family members, as long as you remain a member of GRCAM. And those of you that's friends with me online in my social groups, that's cool. But again, I'm trying to move away from being behind this computer, because GRCAM belongs in the community, not behind a computer. And I'm ready to do this. I want my name out there for something positive. I want my name to be associated with this book. I want this book to get on the bestsellers list. So I'm asking all my group members to don't be passive spectators, work with me. And those of you that's just sitting back to wait till I get established to come in my face and talk about some congratulations and all that stuff, I don't want to hear it. We're going to remain strangers for life. All those that rejected me, I remember you. Just like the back of my hand. I forgive you, but as a upcoming social entrepreneur, we would never have any place in my organization. Thank you all for hearing my presentation. Again, just help me get this book on the bestsellers list, and work with me to get this organization up and running, first of all here in Chicago, so that way we can make Chicago a model first. And work with me in the other cities, the ones that's listed in my book. I already have it there. I mean, I have the actual states. I don't have the specific cities, so just make yourself known. Again, I got a couple of brothers that's going to work with me in getting GRCAM down there in Ferguson. And so, grateful for that. But again, it starts here in Chicago. This is where I'm from. And again, I reject that title, Chirac. And I reject that term that our people are savages. That's how society wants us to be, so that way it could be an excuse for them to be exterminated. Again, thank you for this opportunity to hear me out. And I just be glad that those of you that's affiliated with, I would say, church organizations, talk with your pastor and your church leaders. Talk to your imam, so I can come to your mosque, I can come to your church. And so also talk to your leaders at your local community center, so I can come there and speak. I don't mind speaking in front of a crowd. I'm going to say the same thing, because no man or woman on earth is going to change the vision that my Creator has given me to do. And that's real. And again, my book is not going to be accepted by everybody, and that's cool. That's less people for me to have to worry about. But those that do accept the principles and work with me and become our future clients and members, I work with you and your family members for life, as long as you remain a member. And what makes us different is that we're not going to be just talking about these issues. We're going to solve these issues once and for all. That's what GRCAM is all about, and that's real. All I ask for is a chance. How can I prove myself if I can't even get 30 people on board to be on my management team? So that's the dilemma. I'm willing to talk to those that think that they have what it takes to be on my management team. I'll talk to you behind closed doors as it pertains to compensation and incentives. But again, you got to pass that background check. And all I'm looking for again is just 30 people. That's what my Creator put in my heart and mind to do, and I'm carrying that out, and I am going to be obedient in that area. And I'm just grateful again that my book is going to become a movie. I'm speaking it as if it's so. That's what faith is all about. And our ancestors that was put in slavery, that was sold out by our kings, because the Europeans, it's not just all their fault, it's also our own people's fault too for putting our own people in slavery. They're rolling over in their graves right now, because here it is, I'm saying, and I can back up what I say too if given a chance, that my Creator has given me the answer to end urban violence here in America, starting here in Chicago. And yet, 23 years later, I still don't have anybody on my management team. That's what's so disheartening. And especially when other blacks or other African Americans tell me that they're not interested too when I tell them about what I'm trying to do. So it's very disheartening, frustrating, but I'm going to keep doing what I have to do in order to get my message out, and I'm going to stand on all those principles. And again, I'm not looking for no celebrities. I want ordinary law-abiding citizens, because this organization is for you and your family, those that's affected by all these problems. Our middle-class brothers and sisters, you're welcome to be part of this organization. But again, I don't want you to be bringing in all that prejudice and stereotypes with you. Everybody in the hood is not a gang member and a drug dealer and a rapist, a thief, common criminal. All of them are not that way. And I'm living proof, because that's where I came from. That's why I'm so passionate about trying to go back and do something, because I came from there. The Lord blessed me with a college degree, trying to start a positive business, and yet I have no support. But that's not going to stop me from doing what God called me to do. That's why I wrote my book. My book is only the beginning. My film is coming soon, shortly. The Capital will come eventually, and my business will materialize starting here in Chicago. Thank you all for your time. May God bless you and keep you, and share my this video and my book information with all your family.